Hi, welcome to everyone's favourite segment, Mailbag. Let's get straight into it. Thank you very much. Richie, they've put a sticker on top. That's Rich, I think. Anyway, from Mount Vernon in Ohio. I think it is in the United States of America. It's a real old-fashioned letter. So let's have a squiz. What do we got? Oh, we've got... It's a Techscope for all you Techscope fanboys. It's like a premium HP Premium Plus paper. Does this come from like an oscilloscope camera or something? I don't know. Let's read the note. Hi Dave, my name is Ethan. G'day Ethan from Ohio. I'm 16, young whippersnapper, trying to be an electronics enthusiast such as yourself. You already are. About a year ago, I purchased a Tech 2213A scope on eBay, as you do when you're strapped for cash. It was listed in as working condition. Upon receiving the unit, it was functional, but the trace was so out of focus, even with the knobs at full focus, it's practically unusable for anything except DC voltage management. Do you have any thoughts as what might be the cause of this, and if so, what the fix would be? He's basically only got a multimeter and some basic soldering and hand tools and stuff. Thank you very much, Ethan. Well, unfortunately, I am no tech repair guru. The best place is the, I can't remember the exact name. I'll link it in down below. The Tektronix Yahoo. Oh no, Yahoo groups are shut down now, aren't they? Damn. They're just, I don't know what, anyway, there was. I don't know where they've gone to. I'll try and find out and include it down below. But there was a very well-respected Tektronix group. I'm sure they probably might be on Facebook or somewhere now anyway, that specialise in old tech scopes, and they will surely be able to answer your question. Absolutely no doubt about it. Either that or on the EEVblog forum. Beauty. Hi to all my German viewers and the anonymous person who sent this one in via Deutsche Post. So here we go. Let's have a squiz. Got to get the tongue at the right angle. It's important. What do we got? We got my era. Every era has its innovations. We show you the best of them. AI and robotics. It's a pamphlet. The world's biggest. World's biggest computer museum. Didn't somebody? Was it the same one? The Heinz Nixdorf. Somebody sent that last time, didn't they? Yes, as I mentioned, the Heinz Nixdorf Museum, one of your latest videos, we thought you might be interested in our English brochure. Have a look, our website is available. Oh, it's the actual museum themselves. I guess they got some traffic from the EEVblog. Anyway, awesome. The Heinz Nixdorf Museum team. Thank you very much. So, if I'm in Germany again, or you're in Germany, check it out. Woolworth. That looks great, and it's got all sorts of activities for the kiddies. That's fantastic. That looks great. Love it. Thanks, guys. No mailbags complete without a, probably $1 delivered eBay item from, you guessed it, China. No, Vietnam Post. Wow. Maybe it is actually from, I presume, Vietnam instead of China. Oh, the exodus is happening already. What do we got? It's in it's a little board. Oh, it's a little plug-in thing. ID. Oh, it's a little touch sensor. Okay, quick squeeze, but there's not much to it. There's going to be a touch sensor chip on there. It's a little 6-pin SOT23 jobby. And, yeah, that'll be all she wrote. It'll be like I2C interface. No uckers. Well, it turns out this is actually rather interesting. This little 6-pin SOT23 touch sensor here, it is from a company called TonTek, and this is their Tong Touch technology. So I've never heard of this company before. It's just a Chinese company specialising in ICs, and you can actually buy this chip for about 8 US cents from LCSC in quantity. I believe this one, this is the TTP 223B, and I think, the 223, and I believe this one is actually discontinued, but there's the A variant of it or whatever. And I thought it would be an I2C interface, but it's not. It's just got the one I/O here, so VCC can be up to 5.5 volts, and it's designed to just simulate a mechanical switch, and it'll give you a nice debounced thing as well. So you obviously just touch the thing. The actual touch sensor is on the bottom here, the actual pad. It's not on the top. And it's designed for up to 50 picofarads of capacitance. It's got auto calibration, and it recalibrates like every 4 seconds or something like that. And I believe it's got like auto shut off. So if you touch it when you power up, I think I have to look at the details more, but I think it might disable that switch if it's touched when it's powered up. But anyway, yeah, it's the good thing about this, you don't have to dick around with any SPI or I2C bus rubbish. It just gives you a direct digital output that you can just replace any mechanical switch with a touch sensor switch for 8 cents. So that's terrific. Let's just hook this up quickly and give it a bell. But yeah, we'll just, like we touch here, and we'll just get an active high or active low depending on how you strap one of the pins here. All right, I set up a trigger point here with 200 milliseconds per division. If I touch that, bingo, this one's set up for positive edge trigger. You can see very nice. There's no switch bounce there or anything like that because there's no mechanical contact. Don't worry about the overshoot there. That's just the probe in here. It's a bit how you're doing. All right, let's set it to 500 milliseconds per division. And let me put my finger on here and boom, and it releases. So, yep. So it stays high as long as you got your finger on there. So we'll try that again. Just do a brief, oh, hello, didn't work. Just do a brief one like that, and we zoom in, and of course, it's clean as a whistle. Beautiful. And you can invert the polarity of this as well, I believe. It's got a low power mode as well, which is quite fancy-pantsy, and it draws at 1.3 microamps. So, you know, for 8 US cents, that's pretty nifty if you want to just add a simple touch system, you know, a touch button, power button or whatever it is, or multiple ones. It'd get a bit expensive if you used one of these for each switch. There's better ways to do it. Tons of micros now have touch support built in. So, you know, if you designed a microcontroller design and you wanted a whole bunch of touch buttons, you'd just get a micro with touch built in. But yeah, if you just want like 1 or 2 buttons and you don't want to dick around with any software, any micros, any buses or anything like that, and you just want to use a direct digital input on your microcontroller, then that's a neat little chip. I like that. So it's well worth a look. I'll link it in down below. That's a winner chicken dinner. And of course, there's a bit of art in designing sensor pads and things like that. The greater the size it is, the greater the sensitivity, but there's trade-offs and things like that. So yeah, and there's different pad geometries you can do and things like that. And that might have to be an entirely separate video because a lot of your more advanced touch controllers can, you know, like interference, discrimination, water discrimination. If you get moisture on there, for example, that can cause a problem, things like that. In fact, let me try that. Let me just put a drop of water on that. I don't actually have a dropper, so I'll just have to... Oh, there we go. Yeah, triggered. It triggered. I didn't put my finger anywhere near that, and it's still triggering. So if I blow that away, if I change the slope of my trigger, blow it away. Did it go off? No, it's still there, is it? Is it buggered? Oh, it might have been the recalibration. Might have automatically done that. If I wait long enough, maybe I can get it to... Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. It was doing that. So let me do one more little drop. No, that was next to it. Oh, come on. Come on, Dave. There we go. Yep, triggered it. That's common. And there's some specific touch sensors where you can get discrimination against stuff like that. But that's, you know, there's pretty advanced algorithms that go into these sort of things. And the internal block diagram shows that, you know, this is not particularly a trivial sort of thing to do. And, you know, touch sensors, when I was a boy, that was like advanced black magic stuff. Now it's like, yeah, you can get 24 inputs on your, you know, 50-cent micro. Give me a break.
Hi to all my New Zealand viewers. Yeah, in particular, Scott, the DefPom. You should know the DefPom. He's a fellow YouTuber. I'll link in his channel down below. But thank you very much, Scott, for sending in this. Let's have a squeeze. It says cut open here. So I am cutting open here. And the content sounds rather boring, I must say. So I hope it's something interesting. I'm sure it is. Let's have a squeeze. Happy Christmas, New Year, you too. It's for, oh, okay, it's a cable assembly, yes. For the
calculator, the FX 730p calculator. Let me go grab it. So for those who remember, there it is, the FX 730p. When Scott dropped by the lab, we did a little mini impromptu teardown of this, and he does great repair videos on his channel. So if you're into repair stuff, definitely check out the DefPom. And is this it looks oh no, it's only one way. Okay, I see it's got a little key. Does it go over the other way? That doesn't latch in at all. Maybe that end is going to be... Geez, no, that just sits in there, loosey-goosey, flapping around in the breeze. I don't know. Maybe it lost some sort of retention mechanism, or it never had it. I don't know. And more additional detail, DefPom has set up a new website, completely free by the way, MyPartsBin.com, which is a parts inventory site. We'll have to check it out. Cool. Also released an open source version which is free to download, beauty, and use on a local web server as well, so you don't have to, you can run it locally on your own server. None of these, connected to the web rubbish, cloud rubbish. And it'll be close to 10,000 subs by the time I get this. Awesome. Well, subscribe. He's also on Library.io as well, or library.tv, or just library, LBRY. I just passed 1,000 subs on LBRY, so definitely subscribe. I link it in every video now. My LBRY channel down below. I'm trying to beat Barnacles. He's got like 1,500 subscribers, and I reckon I can beat him within the next 6 months. Cool. So I'll link in DefPom's channels down below, defpom.com and mypartsbin.com. Thanks for the extra cable. I don't have a printer, but if I ever get a printer, I'll be able to print if the cable ever stays in. Oh. And stupid me shouldn't press stop on my camcorder and then open another package, because I just got through talking about this letter from, I'm going to try and pronounce it again, Konzahocken. It's probably a silent H or something in there somewhere, in Pennsylvania. And so I've got to go through the whole description again. Anyway, if you don't know, I sell my meters on Amazon.com. In the US and Canada, don't sell it in the EU anymore because they're a ridiculous red tape. Anyway, if you don't know, when products get returned to Amazon, they actually get returned to Amazon, not to me. And then if Amazon deem that product to be, no good for putting back on the shelves because, I don't know, somebody's marked the no bullshit packaging box or whatever, or somebody didn't like the blue holster so they returned it. Apparently Amazon's got some good return policy or whatever. And so all these return meters, as a merchant, I can actually log in and see this dead inventory in the bins, and I saw one day that there were 3 meters sitting there BM235s, and you can actually get them sent back to you, but only if you have a US address. So, meh. So I put a note on the forum saying, hey, does anyone want free multimeters if you're a hackerspace or a school or something like that? And somebody actually, somebody did apply for them, and then they never followed through. Anyway, the next lucky recipient is from the AIM Academy, and this is just their thank you note. They got the meters, so presumably they worked. I pretty much knew they would, but there was no guarantee. And I sent them the meters. There was 3 of them when I looked and posted that message, but then when I went to actually send them, there was only 2. So I don't know, did somebody nick one at Amazon, or didn't they deem that one went back on the shelves? I don't know what happened. So they got 2 free BM235 multimeters, and that's just their thank you note. So there's isn't that awesome? AIM Academy. So it's good to see that they went to good use. They're designing their little robot. Awesome. It's not little, looks pretty big actually. Jeez, it's a decent arm on that sucker. Anyway, awesome guys. Thank you very much. Glad it went to a good cause. Hi to all my Greek viewers. This one's from Kostas Glastopoulos. Sorry, the writing's a bit hard to read. Anyway, it's from Greece. Thank you very much. Rattles a bit. Anyway, it's a JLC PCB box. So obviously been making some boards or whatever. I don't know. It's dead. It's wrapped in sticky tape. I think we can get in there somehow. Jeez, this ain't pretty. What do we got? Whoa, it's kit. It's kit. loosey-goosey parts. Oh, through hole. None of that surface mount rubbish. Got a big 40-pin dip. Whoa, what is this? It's a SCART, 18 mega, it's a SCART, it's got SCART. Oh, it's a, yes, it's a mini PC. I think it's a mini PC thingy-mabob. Please visit for building instructions. Well, that's an A for keeping it brief. Let's go check it out. I think this will be another Sagan assembly video that'll have to be demonetized, of course, because, you know, designed for kids. No, and if people don't know, no, just having a kid in your video does not make it child-directed, okay? So technically, you know, if I drop a few F-bombs at the start of the video, and even if it has Sagan in it, it is not a, oh God, it's not a kid-directed video. Yeah, so that through hole, jobby. Unfortunately, like, I don't have any SCART cables or whatever, so I'll have to bodge something together. But, yeah, I'm not sure if it's what, yeah, the PC it's emulating or whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of PC thing. Now, ordinarily, I would just spend, like, you know, what, 5 or 10 minutes just assembling this. But this would be, I think, a great one for Sagan to do. So I'm going to leave that, and hopefully over the, because it's school holidays now, we can get Sagan in and he can do some more soldering practice, because he likes building little kits like this, and yeah, through-hole ones, perfect. So I'll just provide a link down below, and it looks like a, you know, kind of neat solution. It's just got, it's all in an 80 mega, and of course the SCART is like a RGB output, and SCART's got no, yeah, it'll only do RGB, will it? Well, the RGB resistor's there somewhere, but yeah, anyway, it does like PS2 keyboard and RS-232 as well. Oh, fancy pantsy. Anyway, runs a little micro basic and emulators, various other things, so that's really quite neat. But yeah, SCART's like this European thing where you can plug straight into your SCART TV. Don't have many of those here. Thanks, mate. That was just the DHL guy. And my friendly Nixon, his name is. Beauty. Anyway, very friendly guy. And what do we got here? Oh, okay, way. Okay, our favourite thing. Thank you very much, Andre Kane in Richmond Hill in the United States of America. Been released from biosecurity control. We're pretty serious about our biosecurity here in Australia. All right, opened for inspection. There it is. Australian government. Good on ya. Is that Border Force? The Australian government. No, I don't know. It's the department being inspected by the Department of Agriculture. None of that Border Force rubbish. You know, if you come to Australia now, you're met by Border Force. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, well, they didn't take offence to the mouse pad. Anyway, what do we got? We have our favourite thing on the EEVblog, a multimeter. It's a true RMS multimeter, apps designed for, it's a Bluetooth jobby. IDMM, wireless app, 50,000 count. Geez, that's pretty good. So it's got to be a $100 plus meter. We'll check it out. Can't do a full review on the Mailbag, of course, but it even states on their website, not compatible with iPhones. Love it. So thank you, Andre, for sending in this meter. It's around about 150 Yankee bucks, and I do actually recall this now. Some people on the EEVblog forum, that's where you go to talk about test instruments, the best place on the interwebs. So this is PDI branded, but it is just a Chem. Chem manufacture meters for X-Tech and all sorts of companies. So it's got IDMM, wireless app, wireless data login, Bluetooth. It's got true RMS, frequency, peak capture mode, double molded codes, 50,000 count. So it's high resolution, which is quite nice. Waterproof and dustproof, which is quite jazzy. And a 2-year warranty from PDI. So, you know, it's quite small. Let's crack it open. So it comes with a little pouch. Oh, PDI have got their own pouch. Thank you very much. And comes with the leads, comes with the crop clips, comes with the magnetic hanger attachment. That's quite nice. And the K-type thermocouple. Neat. And looks like, you know, bog standard Chinesium probes.
and it's just the plastic plugs to make it waterproof. Of course, when you got the probes in there and the 2 extra plugs, it's supposed to be waterproofy. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence, does it, with the the Chinese QC pass sticker? Oh no, it looks that's all. Let me put a bit of spit on that. It's got all genuine China dust on it. So yeah, terrific. Comes with the battery. It's on. Now the specs aren't going to set the world on fire. Let's have a look. I'm not going to test any of the wireless stuff here today, so yeah, don't ask me. Whilst it has the kind of spec you'd expect, 0.06%, usually, they aim for 0.05 plus 9 digits. It's a bit high, but that's on 50 millivolts. So 50 millivolt range. Wow, 50 millivolt range with 50,000 count. That's very nice. Thank you very much. That's plus 4 digits. So, the DC spec is quite nice. But, of course, AC true RMS of 1%. That's what you'd expect. But the DC current, unfortunately, no, it's not up there. 1%. So that's really down at your base level 3.5 digit meter kind of spec. And AC current and your resistance. You wouldn't buy this for the accuracy. You're buying this for the resolution. And the rest of them, for those playing along at home, not that fussed. Oh, it's a 40,000 count. 40,000? I thought it was 50,000 count. Where did I read? Yeah, 50,000 count. 40,000 count. Make up your mind. Cat 3000 volts, Cat 4 600 volts. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't have any UL, independent or ETL independent testing. So, I'm not going to be, if you really need a Cat 4, 600 volt rated meter, get a proper one, not a proper rated one, not a chem one. Anyway, IP67 waterproof, and I assume it's fused. Yeah, 500 milliamps and 10 amps. Thank you very much. And I don't actually mind the meters with center off like this. It's a bit unusual, but the good thing about it is that if you turn it this way, it's all current. If you turn it this way, it's all your voltage, so you can't blow it. So in any of these positions, you shouldn't be able to blow the thing up by connecting to any voltage source. So, it has its pros and cons, but I don't mind that at all. And there's our display. It's quite a decent... Don't mind the look of those digits. Sorry about the glare and stuff like that, but, that's all right. And if you compare that to a BM235, it's not fair, of course. This has practically some of the biggest digits in the business, but, that's quite a readable display. No worries. And these probes, I swear I've seen them on dozens of other meters. They just come out of the same random Chinese factory, and they're, they are what they are. So I wouldn't write home to my mum about them. Anyway, let's have a look. I think they had no, it didn't have input jack alert. Nope, no input jack alert, no beeping. Anyway, that looks like really fast updating there in AC mode. Wow, that's pretty jazzy. No wuckers in that. Yep, that's DC mode. And range, oh no, we'll have to switch over to millivolts. Supposedly has a 50 millivolt range. There it is. Look at that. Whoa. Oh, it shows precisely 0. That's a bit, well, nope, it goes overload as you'd expect. And then it showed precisely 0. It's winded down. But why it showed precisely, yeah, like it locks in at 0 there. So not sure what the deal is there. That's a bit strange. And then it jumps to overload again. Anyway, it is stupidly quick updating for a 50,000 count meter. Anyway, the beeping sounds a bit sad. It's like it's about to die or something. Anyway, let's check the continuity. No. Oh, that's terrible, Muriel. And it is latched, but nah. Let's try that with gold probes, which is going to be better for the purposes of this sort of testing. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, it's not as bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can occasionally make it skip. Yeah, that okay. I'd say that's okay, continuity test. And capacitance, almost bang on. That's the resistance there. That's good enough for Australia. And 10K. Oh, let's count down a bit. But yep, good enough for Australia. And auto range speed, let's go. Well, that was really quick, wasn't it? Hang on. Wow,
Oh, that's instant. That instantly goes to 0. I don't think I've seen a faster... Hang on, let me get the other probes. Let's try this again. I don't think I've seen a faster auto ranging meter. Ready, set. Wow, that's straight in there. I didn't even see that range. That's nuts. It ranges slowly back. It takes its time going back, but wow, that's really impressive. Wonder what chipset they use. That's ridiculously good. Wow, is that like the best on the market? Anyway, I couldn't be bothered warming up my other gear to, you know, test the accuracy specs and things like that. If you want to see a full review, we'll see it, but I'll just crack this open now. There was no captive screws on the back. One just flew across the room, so let's try and... How do you bloody well get this? That's annoying. Anyway, golden power, golden shower battery, long life, green energy. Yeah, right, toxic waste in there, no doubt. 9-volt battery, a lot of people don't like 9-volt batteries in their multimeters, but you know. Seriously, get RSI in your hands just trying to get these screws out because they're going to be O-ring sealed and all that sort of jazz, and they're super duper long because this thing's waterproof and, oh, geez. All right. Crack this turd open, and we're in like Flynn. What on earth is that? What? Oh, that's a that's a big resistor array. Wow, that's not like your traditional ceramic, you know, former one. Wow, that is remarkable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Anyway, they have tried to shield that. Have they tied it down? Yeah, look, they've soldered that down. They soldered that down to the top of the crystal. And then is the crystal can connected down? I might have to measure that. Because if it's not, well, that's a bit how you're doing. Anyway, I do like, look at the cutouts in there. That's very nice. That's really neat. Liking the surface mount diodes there. That's quite nice. Anyway, you've got ceramic fuses. Your typical 500 milliamp and your big CB brand one. No wuckers. So that's pretty good. I do like the battery contacts there, but anyway, that's another big ass diode. What the? And that's a through. Is that a through hole? Surface mounted. That's a through hole that's been bodged to a surface mount. Okay, you know, fair enough. Anyway, there's our 10 amp current shunt. That's bent right over on the side. That's a bit how you're doing. Look at all the soldering there. But, you know, look, hey, it's got no shortage of protection. Don't worry about that. Look at this. 3 MOVs, 3 PTCs, and plus your diode bridge and this other diode over here, whatever that's doing, but it's big and beefy. So, yeah, no wuckers. So it may actually do okay on that front, but as I said, whether or not it meets the standard hasn't been independently tested, and Chem aren't really known for, you know, their highly rated meters. You know, so anyway, there's our Bluetooth module for those playing along at home, and let's go down in. That'd be just an I2C memory, I'm guessing. Let's have a look at the chipset. Well, that's a HY3131. That's interesting because that's the same chipset that's used in the 121GW EEVblog meter and also the Keysight U1282A as well. And that's and both of those meters are sort of, you know, kind of a little bit notoriously slow on their ohms auto ranging. So how they've been able to implement this, I think I might know. I think they might be using because it does have a 50,000 count mode and a 5,000 count mode, and they might be switching to the 5,000 count mode for the initial thing anyway, which gives you the faster auto ranging. So, but it doesn't display 5,000 counts; it gives you the 50,000. So their software engineers, I think, have been quite clever to implement that ridiculously fast, practically instant ohms auto ranging. So I'd love to see their software and know how they do that. And I reckon we've just got an ARM jobby in there, do we? I'm not going to... It's an Atmel AT Mega. It's not an ARM. It's an AT Mega processor. That's interesting. Anyway, so that's a rather interesting look inside. I'm not going to go further. If you want a full review of this, please let me know down below. But for 150 US bucks, it's an interesting price category. And I mentioned this on the forum. Actually, I am looking at having another meter that's coming out very shortly that will be in the $150 US, of course. We're always talking US dollars, Yankee bucks. Price category. In fact, I could potentially sell it under 150 US bucks, and it's 60,000 count. And it's going to be sort of, it's half feature set, sort of halfway between the BM235 and the 121 GW. So please let me know in the comments if you're interested in that sort of price category. Think of it as a sort of like a beefed up BM235. It's physically larger. It's got the electric field detection, but it is the higher count, and it's got much better accuracy. We're talking like 0.05% DC and also 0.075% DC current, and less than sub 0.1% ohms as well. So yeah, it's not bad. So it's an interesting sort of price category. You jump up to your $200 price category, and yeah, you've got the 121 GW, you've got the BM 869 among others. So anyway, it won't have Bluetooth, of course. This one's got Bluetooth. So anyway, it's an interesting meter. So yeah, might warrant a full review, perhaps. I mean, construction quality is kind of what I expect in a chem meter. It's okay, but it's nothing to write home to your mum about, and it's kind of fast. So yeah, let me know if you want a full review. Anyway, I'll link it in down below. Geez, this one's pretty heavy. Comes from Australia. No name. Thank you, no name. Call you Deep Throat. For those young whippersnappers won't know what I'm talking about. What do we got? Been cleaning out some boxes, ex-work junk from the roof space. Used from Telecom Australia Special Service Network. Thank you very much, Mark. Mark Wright. Oh, look at that. What's a telemeter? It's got some great counter modules in there. They'll likely be standalone counter modules. They're great. Always worth having in the junk bin. They're actually very useful. And we've got a whole bunch of boards and stuff. So we'll have a quick squeeze of these up close. Oh, it's got the block diagram on the back. Wow. 2-watt HF hybrid amplifier. Oh, check out this Bobby Dazzler. Look at the cream case on this Telecom Australia, on this Telstra rubbish. Telephone meter type 3, date 87. Wow, made in Japan. All the best stuff's made in Japan. Oh, just isn't that beautiful? Did that reset that? I wasn't watching. I think it might reset that one, and that's the total. So, oh, it's another button. No? What's that? I don't know. Looks, maybe that was another button, perhaps. That is a gorgeous feeling button. Oh, I wish this was Feel-O-Vision. Anyway, this comes from the Telecom Australia Special Service Network. And let's crack it open. Have a look at the gorgeous little counter modules in there. Old school screw terminals. Brilliant. And it all just sprung open. Wow. Look at this. This is great. Oh, that just all just sits in there. Look at that. Giant solenoid. Absolutely enormous. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's how it ticks over. There you go. So just apply one pulse to the coil and it's just going to count up like that. And you can reset this one down here. Ah, beautiful. And that's a Nichicon cap. Thank you very much. There's not a lot in there, is there? Just some sort of NEC. What is that? I don't know. An op-amp job. What's up the top? A UC177, once again, NEC, and got ourselves a spark gap there, a little tranny down the bottom. And there's not a huge amount in that at all. It's just counting, telephone line pulses or whatever. Is it some sort of like call counter, maybe? Now, unfortunately, the problem with scrapping this particular one is that this is not really a usable module. I thought they might have, like, your traditional modules like this are just like a black module like that you can embed into any project and things like that, and you just apply a pulse in, and it just mechanically counts like that.
And, well, this one's not really a usable module, is it? It's really a custom designed bit of kit, so fortunately, that's not something you could really put in your junk bin. And if you feed a 12-volt pulse into it, you can feed a square wave, but I'm feeding in a 100 millisecond pulse every second. If you go down to 10 milliseconds, it doesn't work. In fact, let me ramp down the pulse width time here. Down at 50 milliseconds now. It's still ticking over. Let's try 25. Oh, you can see it. Little tiny flicker there, not enough. So 25 millisecond. 12-volt pulse is not enough. Oh, 30, it just starts to kick in. So there you go. So there's a 5 hertz pulse. There you go, 5 times a second. I love it. Can't really do a huge amount more than, 5 or 10 times a second. It's just not going to do it. And that's 10 hertz. I can play with this all day. I can just leave this sucker running. Oh, 555. And this is a Telspec 2-watt hybrid amplifier. I like a little handle on here so you can pull it out of the rack like that. And I love the multi-ganged dip switches here. They're really quite cool. If you haven't seen those before, they're like, this could be triple width, is it? 4 switches wide there, so you can actually switch 4 at once. Absolutely brilliant. And that would be a 2-way one. And these are your traditional single-way ones. So I got no idea what this does. Telspec Proprietary Limited are the ones who designed this sucker. And there is a block diagram on the back. So, I don't know, test access, 600 ohms, I don't know. It's a Telecom-y thing. It needs 2 watts because it's, I don't know, it's got to do a lot of driving. Is that like the line load resistor or something like that? I don't know. I'm talking out my arse. I don't know telecoms, but yeah, 3 kilohertz, 800 hertz. They're your typical telecoms frequencies and little plug-in boards. I was going to say that we're still in the age of little color-dipped ceramic caps, but that says Arse, so that's probably some little thermistory thing, I would assume. These little sockets here are interesting. They come with these little plugs, and they can't, they can't go in that orientation because the pins are rotated. So you've got to rotate the whole thing around and plug it in. That's fascinating. Why would they go to that effort? I assume that's just a shorting link. I'll measure that. Yep, shorting link. We've got a baseband data amplifier. So I'm sure all the telecom wizards out there are going to, all the telecom greybeards are going to tell us what this is. AWA, look at the old logo there. Oh, it just brings back memories. Those were the days when Australia actually had an electronics industry. Yeah. Anyway, nothing doing there. The only interesting thing here is SOT. That's not as in like SOT 23. That would be almost certainly select on test. So yeah, they're not populated, but I'm pretty sure that's what the SOT there would stand for. Little 10-term trimmers in there. I'll just run through all these quickly. A 2-watt voice switched amplifier. So, wow, look at that. Beautiful. Custom transformer jobby. Once again, Telspec. Are they still going? Doubt it. Like the fuses over here. Nice. Signaling loop extender. Longitudinal noise rejection and ring boost enable. Earth recall sense circuit. Wow, all this telecoms infrastructure is quite complex. When you get, like all these modules are designed to go into a rack and make up a voice telecoms system, I guess. Now it's all done in one DSP, isn't it? Baseband data amplifier. Oh, surface mount. Oh, none of that through-hole rubbish. Wow, that's advanced. We got a day code on there. They're just TL074s though. Nothing special, but wow, they went with surface mount. Maybe they couldn't get surface mount bridge rectifiers there, so they used the old through-hole bridge rectifiers. But yeah, and a couple of big beefy diodes up there for protection, whatever that is, and some multi-gang switches yet again. But you can see the advancement in technology. Installation instructions for an AFFHA Mark II. June 2001, so you'd expect it to be fancy-pantsy, and it is. Oh, look at that. Looks like we've even got
a programmable device up here. Oh, we've progressed to surface mount TANs there. Oh, look at the big, wow, that's interesting. Those big hybrid resistors there. Wow. And a big jumper wire in them. That's interesting. Anyway, are they like 600 ohm, you know, line terminators or something? Like that? Anyway, oh, look at the big MOV protection. They're beasts. But that's not surprising, you know, it's got to survive lightning strikes and stuff like that, so you've got to absorb all the joules, and fair dinkum relay in there, and the caps would be top quality. Yeah, Nippon Chemicon, no wuckers. Oh, it's an Atmel. The Atmel fanboys, they go wild. They go wild. 2001. And it's the old 89 LS series. Brilliant. Yep. None of this AT Mega rubbish. So yeah, you can see how by the 2000s they've really progressed. Of course, they keep all the same form factor and everything because you've got to plug into the existing racks. But yeah, they do modernise this. I'm not sure what the micro would be doing there exactly. Not sure what this card actually does. Made in Australia, made in Strine, no wuckers. And from the modern to what looks like the ancient. This is an attenuator. Look at the big ass power resistor there. Wow, it's an absolute whopper. And some big jobbies over here with their they're ceramic standoffs. Oh, getting a bit of a woody. And some sort of resistor-y hybrid action going on in there. And a couple of trannies. Shit one. Yeah, see the date code though, that looks like 84 by the looks of it. And this jobby, no idea what that's doing. Doesn't tell you. That's an 83 job. Just a bunch of trannies and a bunch of, trannies again. Transformers and transistories. And that's a Plessy. That's a Plessy job. Wow. Wow, seriously, the print on this label is so small, I cannot read that. That is ridiculous. Oh, I need a magnifying glass. So thank you very much, whoever sent this one in. It's a rather interesting size. It's like a torque. Is it a torque wrench? Looks like a specialized... Oh, no. Oh, it's a sensor input. Okay. So it's a sensor, like wrench to sense how much force you're putting on things. Very important in, military and other aeronautics, and NASA would probably use these for, space probe. Every nut's got to be, torqued up by X amount in your rocket or whatever. And the Church of Tesla, realize your potential. The Church of Tesla. Yeah, there's a lot of Tesla fanboys out there. Oh, wow, another one. That's a smaller one. Cool. I'm not sure how tear-downable they're going to be, but yes, these are a thing. Wow, that's enormous. Wow, that's huge. Yeah, and they've all got like little, LEMO connectors in the end, and they'll be like a strain gauge output. And I've got a Church of Tesla button. I hope it's not like over Unity crap. Because unfortunately, when you're a Tesla fanboy, it kind of like the connotations are that it's like, yeah, free energy over Unity, all that sort of jazz. So, yeah, I mean, you can be a fan of Tesla for his work, but yeah, they're the connotations these days. So look at the knurling. That's got purple knurling on it. Ah, beautiful. Bobby Dazzler. So yeah, it's a torquey type wrench, although it's like, it actually measures, it doesn't, looks like, yeah, it doesn't actually have, work like a real torque wrench. It's actually just a data output one. And for those playing along at home, RS Technologies, no, that would not be RS components. Anyway, individually serial numbered, 100 pounds per inch, I guess, is the metric for that, and it's got a data interface. I don't like our chances of getting this apart though. And that is all we can get out of the end there. That's interesting, is it? That's got something in there. That looks kind of weird. I'm going to cut that open. I'll tell you what, that looks for all the world like a strain gauge, but what is a strain gauge doing in line in a cable in heat shrink? Like, what? I don't get it. Aha! Although this is designed by and manufactured by Arse Technologies, these are actually, well, one of the resellers is PCB Piezotronics, and they essentially rebadge these. And PCB Piezotronics I'm intimately familiar with because that was one of my jobs, was doing lots of acceleration and drop testing and stuff like that. So this is a PCB Piezotronics accelerometer, a tiny little accelerometer that you put onto your object that you're trying to measure the vibration or shock response of, and you can play around with those. I might do a video on that one day, actually building a little amplifier for it and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, basically this is going to have a Wheatstone bridge in it, and I've got the data sheet here for it, and we can have a look at the specs. So it's basically a bridge, a Wheatstone bridge in there, which then we need a proper amplifier. I've designed those back in the day. I don't think I have one here. So, you know, we're not going to get, you know, really good results from trying to power this thing up here on the Mailbag anyway. But yeah, these are like real expensive bits of kit, and you can get like these little handheld amplifiers and display readouts for them, so you could do like, you know, field testing. You get under your, you know, your Boeing aircraft or whatever, and you check the torque on each one of the bolts and things like that, and you mark it down, and or you can automatically record it and things like that. So yeah, these are very valuable bits of kit. These are sensing torque wrenches, although they're basically a transducer torque wrench. They don't actually do the torquing themselves. You've got to either for like a post torque inspection kind of thing, or you do it by hand until you get that exact reading you want on the display. So that's very cool. Thanks for sending those in. The others will be identical, and I can't see any way. I think you can actually screw the inner part of that out or something, but I haven't really had any luck with getting this apart. Anyway, there'll just be a Wheatstone bridge strain gauge in there, and there's no internal circuitry at all. Be taking it straight out. But I still don't know what the heck's going on there, though. Although on second thought, is that some sort of like little temperature sensor, and it's doing some sort of temperature compensation? Perhaps? I think we got a second suck of the salve. This is from Keva Guy. I remember the pronunciation, which I goofed in the wrong one in the previous video. That was like, was that literally the last mailbag? Anyway, thanks, Kev. But you know, you got to be careful with the sucks of the salve. Can't have too many. Yeah. Is it actually something from it? DigiKey? Oh, it is. I think it is. I rather like the look of it. It is. It's a very nice wire wound resistor. She's hollow. It's on a ceramic former. And why have I got a wire wound resistor? Oh, yes, of course, because this is just the DigiKey receipt, because I didn't have a powerful enough well, not power. Yeah, I didn't have a high wattage one. This is a 100 watt 1K resistor suitable for testing Kev's Nixie tube high voltage 180 volt load thing. So he sent me the matching resistor. Nice, thanks, Kev. Actually, more to the point, this is an adjustable resistor. See this lug in the middle? You literally screw that in to the point along there you want, and that will give you your resistance value anywhere from 0 to 1K. Thank you very much, Rob K. This is like a Chinese e-packet thing. It says, oh, I won't spoil it. Let's open it up. I don't know exactly. It doesn't really spoil it for me either. I know what class of item I'm getting, but I don't know exactly what type of item I'm getting. But what it is. So we've got user manual. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I thought it was something else. I thought it was a display for that CRT scope that I'm still have to upgrade. Anyway, we've got a cheapo DSO oscilloscope. This is like one of these, you know, I don't know, $30 DSO oscilloscopes, something like that. So, yep. We'll check it out. I'll do a quick power up. It's not going to be a full review, of course, but we'll have a play. Now this is a little open source do-it-yourself kit oscilloscope. This one comes fully assembled. It's probably the cheapest oscilloscope in quote marks you can actually get. I can get this on eBay for 23 Australian dollars assembled, delivered. So it's, anyway, I believe this is a clone one in quote marks, because it's, I believe the original, please correct me if I'm wrong, is done by JYE Tech. But this one doesn't have like the same logo as the original, I guess. But it is open source, so anyone's allowed to actually produce this, really. So yeah, it's just a little, well, let's have a look. So as I said, it's actually a kit, and this one, actually, the instructions are really quite nice. Look at this. I really like this. So as like a beginner kit, you know, it's cheap enough to get for this, and there's a troubleshooting flowchart as well. So huge thumbs up to the documentation for this thing. Absolutely brilliant. Whether or not JYE Tech did that, or the company that sold this one did that, I don't exactly know, but there's no JYE Tech branding on this. And there's the schematic for those playing along at home. It's basically just an ARM micro and a little bit of an op-ampy front end. And the specs aren't anything to write home to your mum about. Let's have a look. 1 meg sample per second, 200k analog bandwidth, 10 millivolts to division to 5 volts per division, 50 volts peak. It's got a standard 1 meg ohm input, and it does have a BNC, so you could presumably use standard pros with it. It is 12-bit resolution though, 1k of sample memory, but you know, like, yeah, it's this would have been kind of novel like 25 years ago, like it would have been useful, but I can, you know, you can argue it's still useful these days. Okay, for the, you know, what else can you get for, you know, 25 bucks delivered, or possibly even less from that? I haven't even looked on AliExpress yet. So anyway, yeah, the form factor there, I think the JYE Tech one comes with like Perspex cover on it or something like that, and it's a bit more expensive. It's in the 30s of dollars a range, but and Yankee bucks at that. So anyway, there's a USB. That's for power, is it? I don't think it actually does. Can you get data out of it? Well, it turns out you can't power it from the USB. That's pretty disappointing. You've got to power it from a 9-volt DC up here. It doesn't have to be 9 volts DC. It's just got a 78L05 and series diode protection there, and that's about all she wrote. So just 5-volt rail. That's dropping it down to 3.3. But yeah, the USB, it's just got a test point on there. Can't power it from that. Oh. All right, so I've got a 12-volt input, even though it says 9 volts. The cap's 16 volts, so I think she'll be right. And yep, by JYE Tech. There you go. So it does actually has the firmware for it. Attention, you can verify kit authenticity. There you go. By send in. Let's have another look at that. There you go. So, but it is open source, I believe. Do not help thief. Please report fake kicks in kit seller. This saying it is legal to run this firmware from Sane DSO from Sane Smart. Oh, there you go. So yeah, I guess JYE Tech aren't happy that people have been cloning this sucker. Anyway, that's a nice update speed on there. Don't mind that. Let's plug some signals in. And there you go. There's a 1 kilohertz 4-volt peak-to-peak sine wave, and I'm not sure what that little kink is in there. That's not my function gen. So something's a bit how you doing there. And it's like you can really see that. It is quite sharp. So yeah. Okay, it doesn't go crazy when you change the gain there. And there we go, it looks a bit better there. Oh, there we go, that's nicer. That's nicer, so it looks like I'm 0.1. Looks, yeah, see? That gives you some sort of weird thing happening there on ×5, I guess. Sensitivity ×5 gain. So, or at ×5? You'd think that'd be greater, but it gives you less. Okay, it's back to front. Well, it's back to front what I think it should be anyway. So, yeah, it's very simplistic, but hey, you know, it works. But, yeah, like there's no real controls. Okay, plus, minus. Okay, that's our time bait. Like, it would have been better if they were labelled a bit better. We'll start to see some ALIS in, will we? Way! Oh, yeah, look at that. Terrific. That's really ALIS in. Look at the low frequency signal that's ALIS into. Wow. Wow, that is a sine wave. It's going to do that as a sine wave. Oh, sorry, glare on the screen. It's going to do that. Yeah, that's terrific. So select, we've got auto. Haven't read the manual at all. Positive, negative trigger. Don't know how do you change that. There we go. Positive or negative trigger. No wuckers. You know, it's like, it's really basic. We've got some trimmer compensation caps up here and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's great for a beginner. Hey, you know, for your 20 bucks or whatever, if you can get this like sub 20 bucks to build this up as a kit, like, you know, it's going to be a nice little kit to build, combination of surface mount and through-hole stuff and things like that. Let's actually take the, can we, or is that soldered in? No. So yeah, if you get that as a kit, or is all the surface mount stuff done and you only do the through-hole? Yeah, I think it's only the through-hole stuff on there. I think it might come, yeah, pre-surface mounted, and then you've just got to, yeah, assemble the rest of it. So, you know, it'd be nice if it actually came with, yeah, well, maybe some people out there do sell a kit where, you know, it has surface mount and through hole. So, you know, that'd be quite a challenging little kit for a beginner, especially with the relatively fine pitch quad flat pack in there. You know, the SO is fairly easy, but yeah, that'd be a nice little do-it-yourself kit. Look, it's, you know, I'm not even going to bother to like check the specs and things on this. It's just, you know, it's a 20 buck little kit oscilloscope. What do you want? And, you know, it does all right, I think. Anyway, good on JYE Tech, and they're obviously not happy about people cloning it, but I saw mention of open source somewhere, but maybe it's not. Maybe people have just cloned it, and yeah, but, you know, nice sharp trace in there, and 100 kilohertz bandwidth. There's our 100 kilohertz. Oh, it's not triggering too well, is it? I didn't change anything. I just, it's 100 kilohertz. Oh, I don't like that. Let's go to 50K. Oh, it still doesn't like that. I assume that's the trigger point over there. So it's got hold mode, running mode. Yeah, it really doesn't like to trigger on even 50 kilohertz. Let's go down to 10 kilohertz. And, oh yeah, we're triggering at 10 now. So yeah, user interface is clunky, and its bandwidth is, you know, audio bandwidth basically. And, but hey, neat little kit. I'll link it in down below if you want one. I'll try and link it to the genuine store. So yeah, you know, that's really neat for the price, really. You know, especially like these things are insanely cheap these days. I mean, imagine like 25, 30 years ago to get something like this would have been magical. So thanks for joining me for another mailbag, probably the last one for the year, almost certainly. And yeah, I will be taking some time off in January, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And as I've been saying lately, please subscribe to me down below on library.tv, lbry.tv. I'll put the link to my channel down below. I've cracked 1,000 subs, and I'm trying to beat Barnacle, and he's got like 1,500 subs or something like that. So yeah, I will do a video on library TV relatively soon promoting that. So yeah, I think it's a really, you know, it's coming along as a really good decentralized content alternative to YouTube. So yeah, it's really coming along. Check it out. Catch you next time.